Tom, thanks so much. And voters who have been waiting out in the rain for a chance to cast their ballot are running out of time. All of the polling locations will close at 7 in less than 2 hours. If you're in line by 7, though, you can vote. Channel 9's Shannon Butler has been going through the top local races on the ballot, and Channel 9's Zig Papantonis is digging into the races that will determine the makeup of Tallahassee and Washington. But first, let's check in with Channel 9's Sabrina Majore, who is live at the Supervisor of Elections office in Orange County. And Sabrina, people have been trickling in throughout the day to drop off their mail-in ballots.
And Martha, if you take a look behind me here, you can see it is busy at the Supervisor of Elections office. The parking lot has been pretty much full throughout the day, and we've seen people in and out of those doors who are dropping off their mail-in ballots at this site today. Now, the Orange County Supervisor of Elections expects up to 30,000 people to vote today alone. And when it comes to voter turnout, so far we're at about 14% of registered voters in Orange County casting their ballots. That is trending below the last primary election in a presidential cycle. That was back in 2020, where turnout in Orange County was just about 25%. But to give you some context here, the latest numbers show more than 55,000 people voted by mail, about 40,000 people voted early, and just about 25,000 people have voted in person today in one of Orange County's more than 200 polling locations. Now, as a reminder, you do need to go to your assigned polling location to vote, and all day we've been monitoring those locations. We spoke to some Pine Hills voters who told us they never miss an election.
You have no reason to complain if you don't vote. You want to make your voice known.
And again, it is not too late to vote. You still have time to get your I voted stickers. Polls close at 7 p.m. Do not miss that chance. For now, reporting live in Orange County, I'm Sabrina Majore, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
So less than 2 hours until they close. However, if you're heading out and you get in line before 7 o'clock, you still will be able to vote. So if you've got a chance, head on out.
It's so important to tell folks that. You know, you don't want to discourage them from getting there.
Yeah, just get in line.
Just get in line. All right, we have our eyes on races from one side of Central Florida to the other.
Yeah, and Martha, one of those races includes one for Seminole County Supervisor of Elections. And Shannon Butler is with us. She has an interesting take on this. A governor-appointed Supervisor of Elections against an opponent backed by the establishment. Shannon?
Yeah, Greg, I think this is going to be a good lesson in publicity, even bad publicity, to see just how much that makes a difference here, or if the backing of that strong Republican leadership in Seminole County will outweigh it. Chris Anderson was appointed by the governor in 2019, and voters then backed him in 2020. But the embattled Anderson has drawn a challenge from Amy Pennock, a Seminole County school board member who has won the backing of the GOP, who wants to unseat him. Now, you just saw Anderson yesterday win in court after a temporary injunction had been put in place because Anderson was accused of putting his signs with his logo all over it, too close to those polling locations. But that's not the only time he's made headlines. Anderson is accused county leaders of racism and was recently sued by a former county attorney for his Facebook Live tirade. Now, Amy Pennock has said that she worries about Anderson's incompetence and misconduct, including him hiring unqualified friends at high salaries and inappropriately endorsing Donald Trump, publicly feuding with those county commissioners, and other things. Meanwhile, Anderson said he stands up for the voters, not the establishment. And Anderson has insisted he deserves another 4-year term and wants to make growing voter turnout a priority. He wants to develop a mobile app and improve infrastructure for elections, and of course focus on cybersecurity. It will no doubt be interesting to see what happens tonight.
It's an interesting thing. You know, here too, you've got the imprint of the governor. It was the governor who originally appointed Anderson. Anderson has not gotten along well with the rest of the Seminole County Party Republican, or the Seminole County Republican crew, and they've put their support behind someone who's challenging him in that race. There's a number of allegations that have been made in that race about hiring, about spending, and about these election communications putting his name too prominently onto materials that should be more neutral. And so this has a little bit of a battle between the Republican establishment and this one guy. I don't know how exactly it's going to turn out, but it seems like the county Republicans have lined up pretty consistently against him.
Now, these two are Republicans. They will face a Democrat in November. Now, let's talk about Orange County just briefly. That supervisor of elections race also had some drama this week after the NPA candidate was thrown out of that race. Now, there's no primary for the candidates here. They're all Democrats. That race moved to November. Greg.
Shannon, we'll watch that and all the other good races. We expect them to be